Hi, everyone, and welcome to Camden Catholic's virtual information session. Thank you for watching, and I'm happy you're here. I'm Susie Danji, and I'm a senior here at Camden Catholic. I'm stoked and ready to go. So as we begin all things at Camden Catholic, we'll start with a prayer. So in the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen. Father, we ask for your blessing as we gather as the Camden Catholic family. Help us to use the gifts and talents you have so generously bestowed upon us as we carry out your will. May the virtues of honor, faith, and loyalty shine brightly in everything we say and do, for the glory of your name. Amen. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. So, as a student ambassador, I'm asked all the time, what if I didn't go to Catholic school? What if I'm not Catholic? They're concerns that are plentiful and understandable. But tonight we have some of our amazing students to talk with us about their experience coming from public school. And though I didn't go to public school, I have plenty of friends who did, and we're all alike. We all have similar experiences, and our differences seem to fade away when we're at Camden Catholic, as we're one family, one community. So I went to St. Teresa Regional School. It was a really small Catholic school, and like everyone, I was really nervous about making friends. I was one of 3 kids who decided to go to Camden Catholic, and I always joke that the other 2 kids were a couple, and I wasn't gonna third wheel, so I wanted to make friends of my own. I played a fall sport, and I made plenty of friends playing soccer. It was a crazy experience, and I really loved it. My best friends, who are still my closest friends to this day, came from soccer, came from that initial experience, putting my foot, testing the waters at Camden Catholic. And I'm so grateful for meeting them, really. And I met people from public school on my first day there at Link Crew, and a day that's set aside for freshmen to learn about the school and test out a locker or do things that you would do all the time in high school without the presence of the big bad upperclassmen. So my friends from public school were all the same, like I said before, and we just really make one awesome Camden Catholic family. So here with me tonight are other students from Camden Catholic who actually come from public school and can share with you their experience. We have Isaac Cleveland from the class of 2022.
Hi. So my name is Isaac Cleveland. I come from Ridgeway Middle School in Edgewater Park, New Jersey. It's pretty small, and it is a public school. So in Camden Catholic, I am in soccer. I'm on the soccer team. I also do wrestling, usually in the winter, and I'm also in the band. And the great thing with all those things is that you really get to meet a lot of new people. That's part of the transition that really helped me coming from public school and going into Catholic school, is that I didn't have anyone from my school. And so going into these programs and exposing yourself to new people, you make a lot of friends there. And that's how I have a lot of my friends today. So more about the arts. It's a really great program. As of right now, it's run by Mr. Gardner. He himself is an alumni. And it's a really, really fun program. We do a lot of things. Like we have choir, mixed choir, band, even some rock. We even have rock band, which I am also a part of. And it's really fun. It's a great atmosphere. Even if you don't play an instrument, Mr. Gardner will love to have you. You'll have a really good time. And that's really it. The main reason I came here to Camden Catholic was because mainly the academics. It's known very well for how rigorous their courses are, and on that they're a really college-based school. So they really prepare you well for college. They want to make sure that you get into college of your choice, and a really good one at that. The reason I came here mainly was because I also happen to have siblings here previously, but the main reason was because of those academics. They proved to be better than my Prospect High School, which is another public school. And so, my parents made the decision, and I liked it too, that this would be the best fit for me for my future. And it is a really great place.
Well, thank you, Isaac. Appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Next, we have Jack B Looney from the class of 2023.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jack. As Susie said, I'm a sophomore at Camden Catholic. So a little bit about myself. I also wrestle like Isaac. Our wrestling program is great, 2-time state champs. I also play lacrosse. And of course, it got shut down last year because of Corona. But, I've been playing for 10 years, and I've heard that the program's great here. We just got a new coach, and I think that the program will be great going forward. So I chose Camden Catholic, and I always say this because it felt like family. As Susie said in the prayer, we're a Camden Catholic family. We come together as a family, and you really feel like a part of the Camden Catholic family when you come here immediately. It's immediately felt, as soon as I walked in the doors of the open house, I felt it even coming from public school. Also a little bit about myself. I'm in student government, investment club, lemon club, cathedral scholars, national junior classical league, just to name a few. And I'm also in honors courses, and like Isaac said, it's a very rigorous class selection here. So I'm in all honors. I'm in also the cathedral scholars course, so I'm required to take 4 honors courses per year. It will be challenging at first, but with experience, it definitely becomes easier. And it was challenging for me at first, but my teachers definitely helped me a lot. They're willing to do one-on-ones with you and stuff like that. So, that's just a little bit about myself, and I'll pass it back to you, Susie.
Thanks, Jack. Next, we have the amazing Miss Erin Wilson. She's from the class of 2018, and she's currently studying at Loyola University, Maryland.
Hi, everyone. As Susie said, my name is Erin, and I came from Haddon Heights Middle School, actually. So I was a public school student who matriculated into Camden Catholic. I was involved in everything. I was in Cathedral Scholars. I was a 4-year varsity field hockey player. I was in the musical, Green and White, Link Crew, student government. So I was all over the place, which was one of the appeals for Camden Catholic for me. I wanted to have a lot of different opportunities at my disposal. I wanted the rigorous academics, but also the strong athletics and the musical theater program. So those were all the benefits of Camden Catholic for me. I also had family. I'm actually 4th generation to go to Camden Catholic, which was kind of accidental. That wasn't the initial plan, but when I was looking at my options, I immediately knew that Camden Catholic was where I was meant to end up. I am currently studying at Loyola University in Maryland. I am a marketing and writing double major. I work as a writing center tutor and as the marketing and outreach coordinator for the center. I play club field hockey at Loyola. I'm involved with Relay for Life. So I'm just as involved at Loyola as I was at Camden Catholic. And I think that Camden Catholic has prepared me for college in so many ways through, at risk of overusing the phrase, the rigorous academics, to learning how to manage all those activities and everything that I was involved in, to coming from a public school that only had 2 other students from my town who I was not very close with, and having to kind of start all over and make all new friends. And I think that in a lot of ways prepared me for college in a way that other students who maybe stayed in their public school system did not have, because they never had to start over making all new friends the way I did and other students did. Just a little bit about my perspective. I'll hand it back to Susie now.
Thanks, Erin. So I'm sure you have plenty of questions regarding what our 3 panelists have said here. There's plenty of activities thrown out there, and I'm sure you're curious as to what they are and how you can get involved with them. So we have questions that we're going to ask the panelists, but know that there will be an open Q&A. So you can shoot your questions out in the chat and we'll answer them. So what drew you all to Camden Catholic? And we'll start with Isaac.
What drew me to Camden Catholic was really the family. I went to an open house, and of course I've been to 2 already for both of my siblings. And by then I already knew that this was a really tight-knit family. And like anything you did, there was always someone to help you out if you had trouble. Like the teachers are amazing here. Like they'll say hi to you in the hallways, and that's just simple hi, or hi, how's it going? it can really get you thinking, and maybe even make your day. If you're having a down day, or they'll talk to you. Like our guidance counselors are great because you can always go to them if you have any problems, and everyone's just really accepting of who you are.
Awesome. I totally agree with you. What do you have to say, Erin?
I would say, I think definitely the opportunities that were available, definitely that sense of community, but I was pretty content with my public school. I was kind of just looking at my other options. And when I went to visit Camden Catholic, I did an open house and I did a shadow day. I couldn't believe how, like this was a bigger school compared to when I was coming from. And everyone seemed to know each other. Everyone was stopping and talking to each other in the hallways, in between classes. Everyone seemed so excited to be at an open house, like genuinely excited to be there and represent their school or their club or whatever it was that they were there for. And I think that enthusiasm about school was something that really drew me in because people wanted to be there. They wanted to be doing what they were doing. And I think that was really appealing to me.
I totally agree. The energy at Camden Catholic is like no other. I think that's really me to Camden Catholic. I've always been in a private school environment, so that idea that we're all created in God's image and likeness was really at the center of my old school, and it was just a continuation going to Camden Catholic. Everyone treats each other as the mere children of God, truly, and that atmosphere of love and family is just so apparent in Camden Catholic. And no matter what arena you're in, whether it be sports, academics, or the arts, all of that, the energy is still there and it's constant. What about you, Jack? What drew you to Camden Catholic?
What drew me to Camden Catholic was the variety of clubs, of sports, of courses they offered here. I mean, there are so many club choices, and there is definitely a club that suits your likings and what your passions are. Like my passion, investment club. I love to learn about the stock market, and that's a perfect club for me. And I knew it immediately when I came here. And the course selection system, how you can kind of personalize your own road on how you want to, what courses you want to take. And it gets, more and more choice filled as you progress through your years. So your senior year, you have a lot of choices. And you can really be who you want to be at Camden Catholic. And that's really what I liked. And also the sports aspect of it. There's a sport for every season. There's a sport for every person. And I just think it fits, Camden Catholic molds around you, and you fit well at Camden Catholic, no matter who you are and what your interests are. And that's why I was drawn to Camden Catholic.
I think going off that too, like if you were to do a Venn diagram of people that were involved in the arts, academics, and athletics, it would just be three circles like on top of each other. There doesn't seem to be a lot of division. People are involved in two or three of those things, like very heavily involved. And I think that that's so appealing, is it's not like you have to pick one group to devote all your time and energy to. You're really able to do all of it at the same time, which is great.
I totally agree. So that being said, Camden Catholic is obviously a great place, but there are some changes from public school, like taking religion class or wearing a uniform. How do those changes affect you? We'll start with Jack.
So yeah, taking a religion course really, like Father Joe says all the time, God and grades, these are the two things that he always stresses. And like he said the other day in our mass, whatever, even if you don't celebrate the Catholic Christian tradition or Catholic Christian religion, you can still go there and feel accepted because you are a part of the Camden Catholic family. And no matter what religion you follow, if you follow a different religion other than Catholicism, you'll still feel very accepted at Camden Catholic, and nobody's gonna ever try to push anything on you. You are a part of their family. We care about you, and that's what my point of view coming from public school to Catholic school.
I agree. There really is an emphasis on inclusion at Camden Catholic, no matter where you come from, whether it be religion, ethnicity, race, no matter what. But Isaac, you can go.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Can you repeat the question?
Yeah, no, it's
Or
fine.
is there-
I was just asking about the changes that one goes through when you're going to Catholic school as opposed to public school. So like taking religion or wearing a uniform. So how do those changes impact you?
Yeah, I definitely had never taken a religion class before, so it was really a change. Um, as I am not Catholic myself, but like Jack was talking about, it doesn't matter at all. They respect you, whatever you believe, whatever you follow. Another thing, the uniforms. I love the uniforms. That means I don't have to plan my outfit for the day. I can literally go and say, "Oh, hey, shirt, tie, cardigan. That's all I need." Um, and I think it's really different compared to going to a public school, but it's something that I found is really easy to get used to.
Thanks, Isaac. Erin, do you have any input?
Sure. I had never taken a bus to school before. That was like the first big thing. I came from a pretty small middle school. I think I was in a class of 60 students. So Camden Catholic was a size up for me than I was used to. But I think that between like the activities you get involved in and link crew and all of that, it's very easy to assimilate quickly. But in terms of the religion classes, I was in CCD as a kid, but I think that the religion classes are much more of like a history of religion course, or like looking at the Bible as more of like a text as opposed to like, this is what you're supposed to be doing. So I don't think that the religion courses, like, it's not like you're going to be converted by the end of your 4 years if that's not what you are looking to do. So, and I ended up at a Jesuit university, which is kind of the same thing here. We have to take theology courses here, and it's much more of a history of religion or interpretations of religion as opposed to this is what you should believe.
Thanks, Erin. So academically, how was the transition for you guys? We can go with Isaac.
I found that in middle school I wasn't really doing all that well, but transferring when I came here for a high school to Camden Catholic, it was a huge difference. The teachers, they'll give you anything you need to succeed. Like if you just want to stay after school, they'll always organize a day to go one-on-one with you. Anything you need, they'll be there. If you ever need help with a subject or you just didn't get the lesson from that day, you can always go up and ask them, and they'll be more than happy to help hash it out with you. So I'm not saying that they don't do that in public school, but it's really encouraged here and very well acted upon.
Awesome. Erin?
Sure. So I think the academics were pretty strong at the middle school that I came from. And so I didn't experience too much of a dramatic transition in terms of that. And I had some great teachers in middle school as well. In high school, I think there was definitely a more demanding schedule, but I think that it definitely prepared me for college, because now I feel like I am so much more prepared than some of my peers, even 3 years in, at managing that workload. And I think, Isaac, you mentioned the teachers. I'm still in touch with some of the teachers that I had in high school. I keep in contact with different faculty members at Camden Catholic. It's not just, show up for class and leave after the 40 minutes. They are really there to make those connections and help you to succeed, as Isaac said.
Yeah, I think those relationships that you build with your teachers here, they serve to complement the academics the rigorous academics that you're presented with. I feel like it encourages you to learn even more. I really do love all of my teachers, and they just really motivate me to push myself every single day. Every single time I walk into the classroom, it's a challenge, but one that I embrace, because they're wonderful people and they push me to just achieve. Jack, do you have any input?
So for honors courses especially, they are very challenging, and it is a rigorous workload, and of course you're gonna have homework, but it teaches you how to learn to fail and how to learn to be better, how to thrive under those rigorous circumstances of these rigorous academics. Like some classes, like last year biology, it taught me really how to study. I mean, in public school, I came from a pretty easy academic public school, and it taught me how to do basic things like study. And I bet that'll help me down the road. Of course, it'll help me down the road. It still helps me to this day. I know how to look back on my notes and do all these things, and it's a very friendly competition in the classroom in honors courses, and I enjoy it. I enjoy it a lot. And of course, with experience, it becomes easier. The honors workload becomes easier as you get older. I'm a sophomore right now. Last year, it's challenging in the beginning. Towards the end of the year, it was easier. And now I'm in pretty much any honors course you can imagine. It's pretty easy with me. So I would say experience definitely makes it better. So that's really all I have for the workload.
Thanks, Jack. So was it hard to make friends for any of you? We can talk about that. Erin, do you have anything to say?
Sure. So as I said before, I played field hockey. So I came in, we started practices at the beginning of July leading into my freshman year. So a lot of my first friends and strongest friends throughout high school are from field hockey. My best friend to this day, I met like the first week of practices. So I was really lucky. I didn't find it too difficult to make friends. By the time school started, I had a team of 30 girls that I knew from 4 different grades. And some of those relationships have really strengthened over the past, 7 years now, which is crazy. And so I think that the more you get involved with and the more kind of action you take in those classes, you have plenty of opportunities to make friends. You will meet so many people so quickly that it's almost overwhelming. But I think that there's so many different ways to meet people and to make friends. So definitely not something to worry about.
Thanks, Erin. My laptop almost died. I was getting frantic. I was so scared. Jack?
Yeah, so making friends, the Link Crew orientation was a huge part of making friends going to high school for me, since I did not play a fall sport. The Link Crew orientation, it brings you out of your bubble a little bit, and it makes you meet new people that you'll be going to school with, and it makes you meet your homeroom, and it really integrates you well with the Camden Catholic family. And I felt after I left there, I had like 5 friends that I knew from my homeroom that I knew I would see there I would see at the first day, and I would know them and I would be able to talk to them. And I just really think the Link Crew orientation helped a lot. And also playing sports. I played a winter sport, wrestling. And I made a ton of new friends there. Like Isaac, I met Isaac at wrestling. One of my best friends is from wrestling. So it helps you meet people from all grade levels when you play sports. And I think that really helps. When you know a senior in the hallway, you kind of feel cool when he says hi to you, so.
I totally agree that sports are a great way, but I want to go back to what you said about Link Crew. I was a Link Crew leader my junior year, and I can speak from that perspective. The activities that we do are so fun. They really bring people out of their shell. It makes people who might not be inclined to talk or be very outgoing, like just get out of their comfort zone. And I think that Camden Catholic is the greatest platform to finding yourself and being comfortable with yourself. And that first day is so pivotal to your whole Camden Catholic experience. I loved Link Crew Day. I still talk about my memories from that day. I actually just mentioned one earlier this week. So I think it's so important for freshmen to go through. And I love that our school offers it. What about you, Isaac? Can you talk about your experience with making friends?
Kind of going off what Erin said is just joining like a sport or a club or just a program. You just automatically you're with people that do the same thing that you like to do, and so in that you can find a whole bunch of new friends. Like in soccer, I played that in the summer. Actually, started that in the summer. I met a whole group of guys, and we're all still pretty good friends today. And then also like in band, I'm still a lot of friends with all the kids in band, some in the choir, some in like from the musical. And so like everywhere you go, it's kind of that thing of you're sharing an interest. And so you kind of find that connection That really helps, at least for me, to make a lot of friends throughout the whole school.
Thanks, Isaac. Just a quick reminder, don't forget to ask your questions in the chat. I know a lot of things are coming up you might not be familiar with. Don't be afraid to ask questions about it. We're really open and really willing to talk about those things. So another question, the last question today. How has your high school experience, or how did your high school experience in Erin's case, differ from the people who, your friends you might know who went to public school? Jack?
Well, what was the question again?
So how did your experience differ from the people or friends that you might know who went to public school? Did you get that, Jack, or does anyone else want to go?
I'll go. I haven't really talked to a lot of my friends from middle school, but I talked with a couple, and there are a lot of differences. Like they have a lot of I don't know, freedoms that it's really different. For me at least, it's hard to explain in words. I used to go visit the high school that a lot of my friends went to, and just the atmosphere of just the togetherness, the family, the one family is really different comparing. It's really different comparing that public school to someplace like Camden Catholic.
Thanks, Isaac. I think Jack was having technical difficulties, but we'll go to him now.
Yeah. So my high school experience right now, it doesn't differ too much from my public school experience. I keep saying this, I keep repeating this. I felt so integrated into the family as soon as I went here. It's like I told my dad when I stepped in, I said, this really feels like it's the place. Like this feels like a family. Like every teachers were coming up to me and speaking to me about all these programs, and then I got in there, and then I experienced it a little bit, and then I realized, you know what, this isn't too different from public school. It's the same course load except for religion, and like I just really didn't feel too much of a difference coming from a public school to a Catholic school. It just, for me, it felt like just taking religion and wearing a uniform and going to mass, and that was really the only real difference I felt. And I just made so many new friends over the past year, and I just felt like my high school experience was even better than my public school experience so far. I mean, and I haven't even been through my junior and senior year yet, so I bet it'll improve even more going through my next 2 years. Yeah, so that's my opinion on that.
Thanks, Jack. You talked about like the only difference being that we go to mass and like have religion courses, but I think that difference makes the difference, the entire difference. Like I said, going back to earlier, is that we're all children of God, and we're truly treated like we are a reflection of Him at Camden Catholic. Like we are so humanized. The teachers talk to us like they're speaking to someone who they really respect and revere. And I love that respect aspect, that it's just so apparent in every conversation, no matter who you deal with at the school. Erin, do you have anything to say?
Sure. I think that the main difference for me was that I got to meet so many more people from different, like even as little as different towns. I was from a very small middle school, so I think that Camden Catholic really opened my eyes to a lot of other people's experiences. And I also think ending up at the school that I am at now, we have a large liberal arts core, and like our slogan is Cura Personalis, care for the whole person. So I think that Camden Catholic really emphasized those values in a way that my public school didn't and really couldn't. And so I think that environment really makes all the difference, is that it's more about who you are as a person as opposed to maybe just like where you are in that 40 minutes or for class or, you know, who you are on the field. It's really about who you are as a whole person at Camden Catholic, which I think makes the difference.
Thank you. So we're gonna end the question portion right now, but does anyone have any advice to give for the people who are watching at home? We'll start with Isaac, I guess. Piece of advice.
Yeah, a great piece of advice I feel is that try and get involved in as many things as possible. Join clubs that you seem interested, but you might not be sure because it may turn out that you really like that. Like something that like even like public speaking. There are a couple like debate clubs and something like that. Like if you think you might like them, just go ahead and join them. They'll understand if you don't feel like you fit, or you might just just feel like you just click there, and then that could be like your favorite part of the day. Is I'm going to a club or a class or a sport or practice. So yeah, so find something that just try out new things.
Thanks, Isaac. Jack, do you have anything to say?
Yeah, so I would say my piece of advice would be to go to social events with your friends outside of Camden Catholic. Go to football games, go to freshman prom, go to events like that, go to after school activities, like Isaac was saying, go to clubs, just do stuff outside of the classroom with your friends so that you can develop a real bond with them. And you'll make your friends in high school. And I've always heard that, your high school friends will go along with you throughout life. And I have, my dad has friends that he met in high school that he has now. And I bet Susie has friends. She said she has friends from Camden Catholic that she still keeps in touch with now. So those bonds are really strong and you got to make them. So go to these social events, go to football games, etc. And that would be my piece of advice.
Thanks, Jack. Erin?
Sure. I think both of those are great pieces of advice. And the only thing I would add is just make connections, be the person to start the conversation. It's stressful when you're new, but I think everybody has that general shared nervousness about being the new ones. And sometimes all it takes is that other person to start the conversation, and it could be, your best friend for life. I met my best friend in the world because I was running for student government freshman year and I offered Jolly Ranchers to everyone in my homeroom. I mean, it is like the smallest things that will change your life in really, really unbelievable ways. So make the connections, be the person to start the conversation. I would think that's my most important piece of advice.
I have one thing to add, and I think that one of the most important things is being your authentic self. And you shouldn't be afraid to be your authentic self because no matter what, people will embrace you. One of my closest friends I met because I was talking about an artist that I didn't think anybody would know. And she came out of nowhere and she was like, I love that artist. And I was like, oh my gosh, I totally have just found a friend. So speak your mind and do the things that you want to do, because Camden Catholic is the place, and you'll find somebody else who shares your interests, shares your passions. And yeah, it's just one of the greatest places ever to be. Well, thank you everyone for coming. And I'm so glad that you're considering Camden Catholic, and I hope to see you soon.